The course that I'm on at uni is marketing management, and I did my placement for a company called Perception Sales and Marketing based in Cheadle-Hulme.
And I did my placement year at Network Rail, and I'm on the BA Honours Business Studies degree.
My placement was at DePuy International, which is a company owned by Johnson & Johnson's.
I did my placement at the Trafford Centre in their finance department. My job was, I did project management.
I was working at Network Rail for my year out placement.
My placement was in Germany. The company was called ESK Ceramics, and I found it through family friends, but at the same time I had to go through an interview there, so it was just like a normal job.
My placement was at Wienerberger Limited, actually the world's largest manufacturer of bricks, so quite a big company. I secured the placement via the intranet through an advert there, and basically emailed direct to the company, and the interview went from there. I had one interview with that company and got the job basically for one place that was advertised.
The placement I was on, it was at a company called Linton Lasers, which is based in Holmes Chapel, which I actually found through the university intranet. When I was at university, I was doing a retail marketing degree, sandwich degree, obviously.
I undertook my placement at a company called Hayden Freeman. It's a pharmaceutical engineering company, and I found that on the intranet.
I did my placement at MBNA in Chester. So I had 2 interviews. One with, I went through the university to get it, and then I had an interview with the HR department and then with the manager that I'd be having when I got there.
Well, I'm studying business, and I undertook my placement at PRG Schultz, who are a recovery auditing company.
The project management was to assess doing cost accounting on the equipment, because the directors thought that some of the machinery that they were actually using, it was costing more to actually maintain. So they wanted me to do an analysis, probably go back over 4 years maintenance records. And then I had to write a report which I submit to the directors, and I had to do presentations as well.
I decided to take my placement in Germany because one, I thought it looked really good on the CV. The experience of actually working in another country appealed to me, and I thought, well, okay, if I go to another country, I think I'll look better than the next person in the interview. I'd have something more to say rather than just saying, oh, I had a standard job here in England.
As I progressed and showed I could, take on more tasks, they gave me market responsibility, which involved Taiwan, Singapore and Vietnam. And then that gradually increased to 4 more markets as I just showed I could really take on extra responsibility, really.
It was like, a whole new thing for me. Sort of people skills, use of telephone, things like that, sort of dealing with customers on the telephone. It's something, sounds easy, but it takes some getting used to.
And the main benefits, confidence. Your confidence is soar through the roof. Just because when you're at university, a lot of the time the work that you do it kind of doesn't really affect anyone. So you do an assignment and it's up to you what the grades you get. But what you soon realise is when you go into actual full-time work, is everything you do affects other people. And it's really strange how you start networking, and you see the big picture. It's not just about the work you do. So what I do will affect the person next to me, and that will affect the person next to them. So my confidence has grown. My confidence in my work as well, and the work that I produce has grown. And just also being able to talk to people. I think you soon learn that communication is the key to doing any job right.
I've never really moved away from home, so it was a whole new experience. It gave me the chance to become more independent, and it was just like I was able to live on my own, and I think overall the whole year was just a brilliant experience for me. It was moving away as well as the placement. I gained so many skills from this.
I feel I've learned a lot about myself during the year. I feel I've developed many skills, such as my organisation, my time management. My confidence has improved as well.
Well, I think I got mostly out of it. I did a presentation to all the new starters. We had 10 new industrial placement starters before we left. So I went down to London and did a presentation to them, and that's something I would never ever have done before. So that was quite an achievement. I've become much more confident as a person.
Because I was a very much last minute person, and now I know you used to always be rushing around the house, getting up late and whatever, but now, because obviously you have to get up early in the morning, you have to get to work, just more structure, and now I can't sleep past 9 o'clock in the morning, which I used to never. I used to be in bed till 12 or something.
At first it was a little nervous because it's quite a culture shock from being a student to working in a business environment, doing a 9-to-5 job.
The big one is sort of not being afraid to ask for help, because obviously you're a company, and especially say I was doing business marketing, you've got to know a lot about the product specs and things like that, so you're not going to know everything, and there's a great deal that you need to be asking and won't be told straight away, so yeah, ask, and decent alarm clock, and eat well as well.
So I would say, yeah, just do your best and just try to develop on the knowledge that you gain in university and address it into industry when you get the chance.
I think anyone that goes in for their year out, it really is up to you what you get out of it. Same as university, really. If you put in the hard work, you get everything back. I mean, we've put in the hard work, and I'm on the graduate scheme now, which means that I can go into my final year university and I've got a great career waiting for me. And it's an actual career, it's not just a job, it's a career that I've got. And I've been given that because I've worked really hard, because I've shown my worth, because I look like someone that Network Rail want to take on afterwards. As I said, it's just what you make of it. The same as university, if you put the work in, you get the rewards in abundance, I think.
When I first started working at the Trafford Centre, I didn't know what to expect. I was more or less a vessel, and I thought I was just going to do as I was told. But as the placement got older, I started to realize that, hey, there are things that they're doing that can be improved as well. So instead of actually saying that I was on placement, I more or less saw myself as becoming part of the fabric of the management information system at the Trafford Centre.
When you start your placement, just be as positive and just as enthusiastic as can be, and it's definitely what you put into it. If you want to gain any skills you want to gain, I think you can gain them. It's just you need to be motivated, and if you do get bad times at work, you need to just work through them. And then you've also got placement office for support, and then your placement tutor, and then even my managers and stuff were just so helpful and supportive. So my advice is just give it your all, because you'll get so much out of it.
The best advice I could give really would be to apply early, start looking, have a think about what you want to do, sort of after uni perhaps.
My advice would definitely be go for the placement, just because the experience, you can't put a price on it, honestly.
My advice to other students would definitely be to apply early. That way you've got a range of different jobs to apply for. You can go to lots of different interviews, which is obviously part of the process as well. If you don't get a job, you've still got the interview process, which builds confidence as well.
Placement office were amazing. And they were really cool. They're always at the end of the phone. I mean, halfway through the year, I was struggling a bit with my finance. Phone a placement office, and they put me in the right direction, who to speak to. And really friendly, really approachable. And I always hate it when people say that about people. Should go, yeah, all right. But they actually are a really nice bunch of people. You talk to them whenever you want. Hence the reason I'm here doing the filming now, because they've supported me. So give a little bit back. But no.
To study in the classroom is a complete different aspect of what you learn in the actual environment when you're working at. So a placement scheme is probably one of the best things that you can do. I mean, the actual experience that you learn from it looks so much better on your CV compared to other people who won't have any experience. So looking for jobs, I think you look a lot better compared to the other people.
I think people should choose to do a placement because it's just an amazing experience. I wish before I was going to not do one, because I thought, I don't know, I'd rather just do my final year. But I'm so glad I did one, because I've gained so much from it. I've met so many people, and I've got on the graduate scheme as well. So that's even something that I wouldn't have done if I'd gone into my final year.
I've learned a lot about business development and the marketing side of business, and I'd love to go into marketing. I've worked very closely with the PR agents at Hayden Freeman, and they do a lot of design work and creative work, and I got training on how to set up a website and things like that, so I'd like to go into design, and that aspect of marketing I find it really interesting because it's very creative. So I'd love to pursue a career in marketing. If
you were doing sort of a degree that didn't involve a placement year, you would be at a disadvantage to a student that had that work experience with regards to getting a job and starting your career after university.
I would say definitely go for it. Before I came to university, I'd already decided that I wanted to go on do a placement. That was the reason why I came to Manchester Met. So I had already decided that I wanted to do it because I knew, speaking to friends in the past as well, that doing a placement will benefit you in your career later on, because you've taken time out of your studies to get there and have a dip in the world of work and just experience it for yourself. So I would definitely recommend doing a placement year, and it's always nice to work full time and then come back to university and not take the time for granted. So
I think definitely do a placement. I think it's like, even if you don't learn anything off your placement, you do learn things of how to be in a workplace and things like that. Because obviously I'd never had like a serious job, and obviously a lot of students haven't, but it's good because I was always one of them people who's like, I never want to work, I just want to win the lottery. But now it's more like, yeah, obviously you have to work, and it's not as bad as you think it's going to be.
Well, personally, with this placement, it was quite a pressurised job. It was quite daunting to start off with because there was a lot of work to be done, and it was kind of, this is the task, you go ahead and do it. And it was, as I say, quite daunting. I've never done anything like this before, but by the end of it, I feel like I've accomplished so much from my placement, and I don't regret it at all. There were times in the year where I think this is getting too hard, but now that I've finished it, I just think it's just been such a great experience. I think I've grown so much as a person in just 1 year, which I didn't expect at all.